Did you know that the largest and strongest tendon in your entire body is located right in your ankle? That's right, it's the Achilles tendon. But here's the funny part. Even with such a powerful bodyguard, the ankle joint still manages to be one of the most frequently injured joint in your entire body. It's like having a superhero who keeps tripping on his own feet. I'm Dominic, and today we're going to talk about the ankle joint, the most dramatic joint of the human body. Let's visualize this together. Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of PhysioTalks with Dom. I hope you're feeling healthy, confident, and most importantly, staying active. Now, as I said before, the ankle joint, the most dramatic joint of the human body, is labeled as that because it's the most frequently injured part of your entire body. And when it gives out, it does so usually when you least expect it. That's why it always needs immediate attention. In today's episode, we'll break down the ankle joint and some important stuff you have to know about the foot. This episode is a very special one since it is the last episode of the basic anatomical structure videos. In case you missed the lumbar spine video, you know what I'm talking about. Let's proceed now with the anatomy. To understand what's happening in the ankle and the foot, we have first to understand the key player. Here's the basic anatomy: the bones, the key ligaments, the main muscles, and the tendon. Let's start with the foundation, the bones. The tibia, which is the shin bone. Next to it is the fibula. It's the lateral part of the lower leg. The tibia and the fibula form a socket called the motus. The motus holds the main ankle bone. Next we have the ankle bones. The talus is the main ankle bone and the calcaneus is the heel bone. In front of them sit the navicular, cuboid, and three cuneiforms, which are the medial, intermediate, and lateral cuneiform bones. The bones already mentioned connect with the metatarsals. The metatarsals are the bones of the foot. The toe bones mentioned after the metatarsals are called phalanges. Key ligaments, the ropes and cables. Deltoid ligament and lateral ligaments. The deltoid ligament is a large, strong, fan-shaped ligament which is located in the medial part of the ankle joint. It's the toughest of them all, after the Achilles. The lateral ligaments. These ligaments are the most frequently injured of the ankle joint. The anterior talofibular ligament, the calcaneofibular ligament, and the posterior talofibular ligament. Relevant muscle groups and tendons: the Achilles tendon, the peroneal group, the anterior and the posterior group. The Achilles tendon, as I mentioned before, the largest and strongest tendon of your entire body, connects the gastrocnemius with the soleus to the calcaneus, the heel bone. The peroneus longus and brevis muscles run down from the lateral to the down lateral side of the ankle joint, stabilizing the ankle laterally. Now let's move to the anterior group. We have there the tibialis anterior, which runs down the shin and helps lift up your foot. Finally, to the posterior group, we have deep muscles. The posterior tibialis support the arch and helps the inversion of the foot. Now let's move to the kinesiology part. Kinesiology simply means how the joint moves. And since the ankle joint is such a dramatic joint, it needs two different systems of movements to pull off its act. We break them down into two main categories: the hinge movements, up and down, and the functional movements, the superpower of the foot. Hinge movements. These take place to the talocrural joint, which works like a hinge. There are two key actions: the dorsiflexion and the plantar flexion. The dorsiflexion is like pulling the foot towards your nose, and the plantar flexion is pushing your foot down like a ballerina. Here, where the ankle starts its drama, the talus bone. This is the one that sits between the tibia and the fibula. It's wider in the front, so when you move into dorsiflexion, that wider part wedges into the ankle socket, making the joint highly stable. This is called the closed packed position, the ankle's most secure posture. But when you go into plantar flexion, the joint loosens up, becoming less stable and leave those lateral ligaments more exposed to injury. Now let's move to the superpowers of the foot, the functional movement. This happens mostly on the subtalar joint, where the running and walking patterns are making possible. Your foot constantly switches between those two modes. Mode 1, the sponge or eversion. The foot rolls outward and flexes up. It unlocks, becoming soft and flexible to absorb landing. Mode 2, the hammer or inversion. The foot rolls inward and points down. It locks up, turning into a strong lever that helps push off the ground efficiently. The key of keeping the ankle drama free is timing. That perfect quick switching between eversion and inversion. When the timing is off, it's injury time. Most ankle injuries fall into three main categories: the ligament catastrophe, the sprains, the hero's downfall, tendon injuries, and the bone problem, fractures. Now let's break them one by one and keep it simple and nice. The ligament catastrophe, sprains. This is by far the most common ankle injury, which everyone could have experienced in the light on that point. A sprain basically is when you stretch or tear a ligament, which is that part which holds two bones together. And since the foot rolls usually into eversion, by 80% chance, the outer part of the ankle is the one that gets the part injured. Now, who are the main victims? The anterior talofibular ligament and the calcaneofibular ligament. When these are overstressed, there is swelling, bruising, and of course pain. In more serious cases, the ankle sprain can go higher up on the part between the tibia and the fibula. On the medical term is the syndesmosis. Usually it takes much longer to heal, and it feels like the pain is above the ankle itself. The hero's downfall, tendon injuries. To get you into the topic, the tendons are the anchors of each muscle. It's the point of the muscle attaching to a bone, and when they are overstressed can get a tear. This is a sprain. Tendons are the main anchors of each muscle, that part which attach the muscle to the bone. When this part of the muscle is overstressed, it's called a tendon tear. Of course, we can say it's muscle or tendon strain. Muscle strain can be caused into the muscle or the tendon. The most dramatic one is the Achilles tendon, the largest and strongest tendon of the human body. Yes, of course, can get ruptured completely or partially. People often describe it as someone hit them on the back of the leg with a stone or with a baseball bat. It's a serious injury and it requires an immediate attention. Other common tendon problems include the peroneal tendonitis, the inflammation of the tendons on the outer part of the middle leg that help on stabilizing the foot. Posterior tibial tendon dysfunction, when the tendon of the inside part of the ankle weakens and makes the arch collapse over time. The bone problem, fractures. Sometimes the force is so strong that instead of tearing the ligament, it breaks the bone. In some cases, the ligament pulls off a small piece of bone with it. That's called an avulsion fracture. But how do you tell the difference between a fracture and a sprain? We use something called the Ottawa ankle rules. Here's a short version. If the pain is intense, you cannot walk even 4 steps, or the bone is tender in specific spots, it's time to stop guessing and get an X-ray. Not all ankle problems come from one big event. Some sneak up on you over time, like a plantar fasciitis, which is the band of tendons beneath your foot, which gets inflamed, causing sharp heel pain, especially in the morning. The ankle joint, when it gets injured, it requires a lot of attention. Understanding where and how this injury happened is the first thing you have to know for preventing them. Now let's move to the physiotherapy tips and exercises. Hold up before we start fixing anything. What you're about to see is for general educational purposes only. If you're dealing with severe injury, like intense swelling or large bruises or pain, a suspected fracture, or literally cannot put some weight on your ankle without major pain, just stop. Go see a professional. Don't try to physify severe pain or Achilles tendon on your own. These tips are for mild to moderate ankle recovery and strengthening after you've been cleared by a professional, assuming your drama queen ankle has been given the green light. Let's get it stabilized. Remember, your ankle is a reflex joint. It needs constant practice to avoid the humiliating roll. Our main mission? Proprioception. Basically, your ankle's built-in GPS. Tip number 1, the ankle alphabet. Sit down and draw the entire alphabet in the air with your big toe or the ankle joint. Tip number 2, single-legged stance. Hold onto a chair at first. Challenge. Once you can balance for 30 seconds, try closing your eyes. Removing visual cues forces your ankle's reflexes to kick in full throttle. This is your ultimate home defense against the future sprains. Tip number 3, resistance band strengthening. Loop and resistance band around your foot and push your foot inward or inversion and outward eversion against the band. This strengthens the peroneal and tibialis muscles, the dynamic stabilizers that save you from rolling your ankle. Tip, of course, later on when you get stronger and stronger, you can start by just do some calf raises. Feel the pressure on your ankle, how it feels. If it's too painful, get informed well. By doing calf raises, you can start strengthening your gastrocnemius and generally the stabilizers of your ankle joint. But it's always important to get examined by a professional and get guided properly. Now that we've strengthened, mobilized, and trained your ankle's reflexes, it's time to talk about prevention. Keeping your ankle joint drama-free before it starts. Here's the game plan. Keep it strong. Continue resistance band exercises regularly. Add calf raises, single leg squats, or hill walks on your routine. Why? Strong muscles take the load off your ligaments and absorb impact better. Train your balance. Incorporate single leg stances, Boshu ball walks, or even barefoot walking on safe surfaces because your ankle needs to react fast to unexpected twists and turns. Warm up properly. Spend 5 to 10 minutes to mobilizing your ankle before running and sports. Think ankle circles, ankle alphabet, or dynamic stretches because a well warmed up ankle, it's less to get caught off guard. Footwear and surface awareness. Wear shoes with good support for your activity. Avoid uneven surfaces if your ankle is still recovering because preventing awkward rolls is just as important as building strength. Listen to your body. Swelling, pain, or instability, don't push it. Early attention, shorter recovery, and less trauma later. So let's recap. We've met the bones, ligaments, tendons, muscles of the ankle joint. We explored how it moves, which are the common injuries, and we went hands-on with the most important exercises you can do about it to make your ankle resilient. Finally, we covered prevention tips, your daily armor against injury. Your ankle might be traumatic, but with the right knowledge, exercises, and awareness, you can make it strong, stable, and ready for action. Remember, consistency is key. Train it, respect it, and it will carry you safely through every step. Thanks for joining me on this episode of PhysioTalks with Tom. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos of PhysioTalks with Tom. There is more anatomy, movement, and injury prevention content coming. Until next time, stay active, stay strong, and keep those ankles trauma-free.